would seize the occasion to lose their last voters. The exhibition would last only a few days. It would be interrupted by the coup, and that would be the end of utopia. Not yours, the very idea of utopia. As if the Soviet Union had been the amnesiac bearer of a hope it had long ceased to incarnate, but which, strangely, would die with it. A few hours more and tyranny would be over, and so would dissidents. In the post-coup political landscape, dissidents who had been the conscience of the Brezhnev years would play no part. The door would be open for demagogues. Here, Zhirinovsky hits closer than he thinks. What finished there had begun in the snow of Petrograd in October 1917. But this time, without insurrection, without uproar, and with only a few accidental deaths. So the picture book was closing, the one that had opened with the Potemkins' first dead. With October's statues, with Aerograd's parachutes, a metaphor of that generation which had thrown itself from the sky without having learnt how to jump, and whose last idols would fall that same night.
And actually he is not from our party leaders. Our party leaders, they were never smiling. They never were never like this. Because they used to say, well, we are working too hard, we are working clock around to make our people benefit from the communist system, and we are just the most, well, starving people, most hardworking people, and we don't even have the time to smile.
I remember a masked wrestler in Mexico, 1953, who called himself the Killer Doctor. That name, suitable for Mexican fantasies, appeared in the newspapers about a group of Soviet medics accused of plotting Stalin's assassination. An interesting point. 2 of them had been present at Bukharin's trial as medical experts. Only Stalin's real death a few months later would save them from being tried. I was in New York. I remember that night in Times Square. We were a small group gathered around Moondog, the blind musician, and we were reading the news for him. He's dying. He's dying. Until 4 a.m. when it became, he's dead. Stalin was dead. His funeral was filmed, then the film put on the shelf. Just like a Medvedkin movie. We didn't know yet, but de-Stalinization began the next day. There was no Vertov ready to compose 3 songs about Stalin. All that remained to perpetuate the great man was the recording of those grandiose pageants on Red Square, and it was there that a surprise awaited me. Perhaps the biggest surprise in a time trip which had not been devoid of them. The film of May Day 1939 was called Blossoming Youth, and the name of the director was Alexander Ivanovich Medvedkin.
I think that life started to influence him, and he wanted to fit into the system. He wanted to work. He was so tired of not working, you know. He wanted to be useful. He wanted to work. And then I think that it was an illusion, and he made himself believe in certain things. And, you know, it's like a swamp. When you get into the swamp, bolota, yes, you start, you know, at first you think it's okay, but then you're getting lower and lower, and then... I will never believe that Medvedkin was a liar. I cannot believe, because he was a sincere person. I will not believe it. I think that he wanted this fairy tale, he needed it as badly as these people in Kuban with Pyrev's film Kubansky Kazaki. People needed it. And I can tell you my own feeling. I was a girl then. And I used to go to the demonstration every 7th of November and 1st of May. And I remember what an enormously, how happy I was when I was in the midst of these people, with these transparents, with these red flags, seeing Stalin on the mausoleum. I was the happiest person in the world. I was there, you know. It was a sense of being a part of a great nation, of you know, winning people who are winning, people who are, you know, creating something. It was so important. I was very happy to be inside, and of course, I think that Medvedkin was making this film, feeling the same thing.
So is Medvedkin's story that of a great artist finally crushed by power and reduced to film a kid dressed as a cop, driving at gunpoint other kids dressed as enemies of the people? As ever, pieces of the Medvedkin puzzle didn't fit so easily.
Он должен был, как документалист, за одну свою картину получить Сталинскую премию. И вот ночью один из его друзей, как у нас говорят, друг не дремлет. Один из его друзей, значит,